I was scrolling through Reddit today and came across a post where a first-time home buyer was complaining that their monthly payment had increased by $425 the day before closing. The issue was that their property taxes had changed. See, their lender pulled the tax card, not realizing or not knowing that the sellers had a homestead exemption. They were senior citizens living in the house as their primary residence, and in the state of Texas, you can get a pretty steep discount on your property taxes because of that. So this loan officer, out-of-state loan officer, processed the file with the lower tax rate, regardless of the fact that this buyer was in their 30s, not eligible for this particular exemption, and it didn't get caught until the final closing disclosure went out. Now, by this point, the buyer had $5,000 in non-refundable deposits. He had his moving truck loaded up and felt strong-armed and felt like he had no other choice but to close at that time. This is one example of many out there of why it is so important to work with a local lender, somebody knowledgeable of the area. Here at Atlantic Coast Financial Services, we're only licensed to do business in North Carolina. Frankly, I would be uncomfortable originating a mortgage loan in Texas because their fee structures and property taxes and systems that they have are completely different from what we have here in North Carolina. Now, I would love to get licensed in Ohio, but that's only because I spent years working in the mortgage industry up there and I'm familiar with how things work in Ohio. Before deciding to work with a national lender, take a step back and consider how likely it is that the loan officer, who's licensed in all 50 states, is intimately familiar with who pays taxes on what, who's responsible for what fees, how does the county website work when pulling data. Chances are they've never originated a loan in your county. So again, I highly encourage all home buyers to use a trusted local professional because, hey, if something goes awry or you can't get a hold of your loan officer and they're local, you could drive 10 minutes up the street and walk into their office. And the cherry on top is you're supporting local business that way and probably getting a better deal on your loan anyways.